taking your sweet time. A lot of mornings I just wish I could stay in bed instead of getting up every single day, coming out and milking for an hour and a half. But once I get out here, I never regret having goats. It's just relaxing. It's a nice time to kind of think about the day. Often I listen to the radio. And it does connect you back in time to every other farmer who's ever milked an animal, and all the other farmers who are in their barns right now milking their herds. That's a pretty amazing thing. The first time I came out to milk this season, the babies started screaming at full volume for their mothers the minute I opened the door. And now they know it's going to take me about an hour to milk all the mamas, and I think goats really have an excellent sense of time. They're creatures of habit and routine. If you change one thing in their routine, you'll hear it from them. Even if one broom in here, if I put a broom in this corner, no one would hop up on the milk stand. They know if I move this milk stand just a foot, no one will get on it the first day. They really are, they find that habit and that routine reassuring, like all of us. So this goat's grandmother was the first goat I ever milked, and I had researched for months in advance of milking her for the first time. I bought all sorts of stainless steel implements. I had read all these blogs that said when you're milking, you can lean your head on the goat and just relax and, dream about your life. And it sounded so romantic. And when I went out that first morning, the goat was a bucking bronco. It was a nightmare. She sat her udder in the pail. She kicked the entire time. I was all my arms were all scraped up trying to get some milk out of her. It was absolutely terrible. And it was because I didn't know what I was doing. I made her feel nervous. And I thought, I'm never gonna get this. Maybe I made a bad decision, Obviously I'm not gonna be a milker. But now it really is the most relaxing time of my day. They mostly do just stand there. It's a chance for me to check them out, see how they're doing. So you can watch YouTube all you want, but nothing beats practice and experience. And the goats know if you know what you're doing and you're calm, they feel calm also. My vet says all my goats are my favorite goats, but I think Rosemary is definitely one of my favorites. She is so human. Her whole family is her mom also, but she's so human. And when her babies leave, she really, really cries and cries and cries and gets up on the edge of the stall, and you have to hold her face in your hands. And then she'll stop crying as long as you're holding her face and telling her it's going to be okay. And then the second you stop, she goes back to wailing, and it goes on for 3 days. And then she goes back to normal Rosemary, but she's very human in her emotions. Some of the goat mothers, when their babies leave, are just, you can tell they're relieved. The very same day they go off and they're grazing and happy, but Rosemary is always really, really sad to see her babies go. She's different than everybody else. They all have such distinct personalities. They're like dogs. If you had 3 dogs, you wouldn't think that they were the same at all, right? But somehow people think livestock are all the same. All cows, all goats, all sheep. And it's just not true. They're as distinct in their personality as a dog or a cat.
Or a person.
Or a person. a decade in, and this never gets old. It's always hilarious to hear the babies in the morning, and so fun to see them reunited with their moms out in the pasture. Yeah, it never gets old.